When God comes into our dirty room, ay, ay, ay. Oh. I still remember when I was younger and my room was a mess, right? And then my mom come and tell me, you better clean your room because we have special visits coming. And then, I like to take my time a little bit here and there, playing some video games. And then my mom came back and my room was still the same. And oh boy, that was not good, right? It was not good. Now I have kids, little ones, and I'm experiencing the same. And sometimes I ask them to clean up and they don't. And there is Legos. This is the worst part about when they messed up in the rooms. There is little Legos in the rooms. And when I walk at night to take them in or whatever, and I step onto a Lego, I remember those words. Why you didn't clean up? Now, this is the interesting thing because God, we're gonna talk about the book of Leviticus, and I'm excited about this book. I want to be sharing this book with the kids that I serve here, the teens at Project Patch, and we're gonna see how God is coming near the people of Israel. These people that don't have the cleanest of lives, and how is God gonna react to that? And how the people can experience communion with God even when they have impurity. Right now, granted, I use a silly example about the room, but nobody likes to be in a dirty room. No one wants to be part of that, right? But sometimes we we uh, we think that, okay, my life is all messed up. I think God is okay with me. Is that so? How can we be close to a pure God when we are impure people? What happens when darkness is exposed to light, or wood to fire, or dirtiness to detergent? It's not great, isn't it? One of these usually is eliminated. Either darkness, either wood, or dirtiness. Usually the active elements are the ones that overcome. And God, of course, is the active element in this example. Not even Moses was able to come into the hot spot of God's presence. The Bible says that he was a great prophet, right? No one like him is compared in the whole Torah and even the Old Testament. But when Moses came down from the mountain and polluted himself with the people of Israel, the Bible says that God spoke to him from the tent, but he was not able to come in at the end of Exodus. It's pretty fascinating. This reminds me of what happened to Adam and Eve when they were exiled to the garden of God. They were exiled because otherwise they would have died. What happened? God had to put a cherub, a mighty angel, and a sword to prohibit the entrance to Adam and Eve. There is something about the holiness of God. This is the key, my friends. No one is free of contaminants. No one. The Bible says that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. This is in Romans 3:23. Now, in the story of Leviticus, we come from the context that Israel sinned when they worship an idol, a golden calf, after God saved them with mighty works. And even Moses, now that he's back with the people, he's part of them and therefore contaminated with their sin. Which, by the way, before Moses was like an example of a blameless lamb, because when the people of Israel sinned, God was ready to destroy them. But Moses told them, please not, kill me first. Kill me. If you're going to kill them, kill me. Otherwise, please forgive them. And God was, and Moses was being acting as a lamb without blame in intercession for the people of Israel. We're going to be talking about these. Now, there are some that deny this truth. The truth that we are all sinners. There are some that either don't believe it, that they say, no, there are people that are good and people that are bad. And the great majority of people are good. But let's be honest, in doing this, their lives become less and less attractive. It's like room full of trash, because usually people that deny their own sins and their own mistakes, they are living in self-righteousness. And believe me, no one wants to be close to self-righteous people. It's stenchy. You can smell it from far away. But not only that, they are denying the possibility of receiving a solution, which we're going to talk about it. What is that solution? God's detergent, God's soap. What is it? Well, in Leviticus, we'll find the solution of God to this problem. How can He, a holy and pure God, become the friend and lover of impure and unclean people? Oh, this is fascinating. What God is going to do and give the people of Israel is the gift of atonement, or the gift of at one meant, becoming one, atonement, right? Let's go read it. Leviticus chapter 1. Then the Lord called to Moses and spoke to him from the meeting tent. See, from Moses is outside. And he says, speak to the Israelites and tell them, when someone among you presents an offering to the Lord, a korban, and the word korban is brought near. Basically, God is saying, when any of you come near me in an offering, you must bring near your offering from the domesticated animals. The animals that God provided in first place, either from the herd or from the flock. If his offering is a burnt offering from the herd, he must present a flawless male. He must present it at the entrance of the meeting and acceptance before the Lord. You can picture the image of coming into the entrance. They're not coming inside. They're presenting the offering there at the entrance. He must lay his hand on the head of the offering, and it will be accepted for him to make atonement on his behalf. When somebody put the hands on the head of an animal, basically he was saying, this is my representation. This animal is about to represent me. This blameless animal represents me in front of God. And the Bible says here that God is going to accept that as an atonement. The word atonement is keper. And basically is when you are paying a debt. You are covering your sin, not in a hiding matter, but like paying. And that payment cleanses you in the presence of God. Then the one presenting the offering must slaughter the bull before the Lord, and the sons of Aaron the priest must present the blood and splash the blood against the sides of the altar, which is at the entrance of the meeting tent. And this blood, the Bible in Leviticus says, chapter 17, that the blood is the life of the animal. And let's say I'm worshiping and I'm coming to the tent, right? And I have all my sins, and then through my hands and I'm pointing a representative that is blameless in front of God. But then this blameless representative is being slaughtered and killed and destroyed in my place. But he was blameless. So he's paying for me, and now his blood in this bowl is representing that life that is blameless. And this bowl is coming into the Holy of Holies, and then it's being sprinkled into all the elements of the worship service, the Holy of Holies, where the presence of God stays. The blood, which represents the life of the animal that was killed in my place, is connecting, is touching the elements, is being in the presence of God. I'm not capable to be there, but through this atonement in that blood, I am having access. Next, the one presenting the offering must skin the burnt offering and cut it into parts, and the sons of Aaron the priest must put fire on the altar and arrange wood on the fire. Then the sons of Aaron the priest must arrange the parts with the head and the soot on the wood that is in the fire on the altar. Finally, the one presenting the offering must wash its entrails and its legs in water, and the priest must offer all of it in a smoke of it up in the smoke of the altar. It is a burnt offering, a gift of soothing aroma to the Lord. This offering is coming in a symbolic manner, right? Coming up to the Lord, and the Lord is accepting it in a soothing way. Is refreshing, is connecting the worshiper with Him. Even though the worshiper was impure, now through this element of atonement, by an innocent and blameless life, he can come near. Uh, that's basically what I wanted to talk about Leviticus. And Ephesians chapter 5 verse 2 says, and living love, Jesus Christ also loved us and gave himself for us, a sacrificial and fragrant offering to God. Jesus is our atonement today. And by laying hands to the heavens, we are accepting that gift that came from God. And now, by laying hands and believing in Him, we are coming back to Him in His sacrifice that He provided for us, this innocent and perfect lamb that was killed for us, where His blood was completely poured out for my sins, so that I have access to him, and I can be called his son and his friend forever. And therefore now I can be, like Paul says here, exhorting the brothers and sisters by the mercies of God to present your body as a sacrifice, alive, holy, and pleasing to God, which is your reasonable service. This is the conclusion of today's lesson. God's desire to be near us, even with all our pollution. His love and holiness were in conflict because he knew that we were covered in sin. And as the sun brings the morning and removes the darkness of the night, his purity will eliminate all our impurity. But in his wisdom and mercy, he provided atonement for us, an offering that we can bring near him, and has the power to make us clean so that we can be in the hot spot of his presence and enjoy the life that Adam and Eve lost in the Garden of Eden. These are the good news, my friends, the good news of Leviticus. I'm excited. I'm excited because I want to share these with the kids. Ancient ideas that many times we put in a box of theology, but for the Israelites was so practical, was so real, and it should be for us today with Jesus. Thank you. Have a blessed week.